All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a 2v2 matchup. So and Happy going up against Infi and Arling, or 120. We're looking at the north side here. This is Happy and Tho coming in as the. Let me change the colors so I can actually get red human undead combination off to the north, going up against another human undead combination down to the south. Should be a great matchup. 2v2. This is on Synergy, where you and your partner spawn next to each other. You don't have to worry about defending your base, because by defending your base, you're also defending your partner's base, and vice versa. Taken from, I believe, Star Wars 11. And if you guys don't recognize any of the four players playing today, well, you must be very new to WarCraft 3. All four of these players, pretty much legends in their own right, pillars of the community, top players currently or was at one point in time. Let's make sure, first, I'm not saying that any of the players are no longer top players. I just wanted to make a statement that was, very difficult to argue against. If someone's like, no, Infi is not a top player anymore. I'm like, well, top player, at one point in time. Not that I'm saying Infi isn't a top player, but some people just, it's the internet. People want to argue for the sake of arguing. Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. We are looking at an Archmage and a Death Knight coming in from the south side. Meanwhile, it is going to be an Archmage and a Death Knight off from the north, but Happy opening things up with Crypt Fiends instead of Ghouls. There's that earlier graveyard, but that will end up delaying that Death Knight just a little bit. So glad you're with me today. Yep. For all of you guys who watch me daily, watch my YouTube, and watch my Twitch streams. I didn't stream yesterday, had to wake up super early in order to, get things taken care of. Needed to get my car towed to a shop in order to get it fixed. Ended up tow truck being about an hour and 45 minutes late, even though I tried to call, very early in the morning, be like the first person to get fixed. And, that just, things don't always happen the way you want it. Anyways, Archmage coming back around. Going to go after that Null Brute here. Does have a Tome of Strength to pick up for the Archmage. Has a Talisman of Evasion, giving a little bit more effective hit points. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Samdan, or Tho, opening up, going after the Ice Troll Trappers. Yeah, there we go. Tho, perhaps not as big of a player as he once was, but still a very recognizable name. Yeah, horrible start of a day. I'll just, while I still have a little bit of time, my wife, as she was driving home, right in the neighborhood, started to hear some metal, scraping and, springing, and just, things from the rear wheel. Well, say that 3 times fast, with a speech impediment. And had a difficult, just didn't want to drive. We weren't sure what was going on. Turns out there was a thick, I wouldn't even call it a wire. It had the hardness of a nail, but it was 12 inches long, and wrapped around and tumbling inside the rim of my back left tire. If I had driven it too far, it could have damaged or scraped or, just done some nasty things to my car. Good thing we didn't drive it too far. We just did our normal maintenance, and the guy took a picture of the nail, or actually gave me the nail, and I took a picture of it. It's bigger than my keys. My set of keys is this big. Anyways, too much of another story for you guys. Life is just... I just gotta say, life has just been throwing me curveballs. So thank you for all of the support out there. When it rains, it pours, and right now it's pouring. But my attitude is still pretty positive, I must admit. All right, Archmage, Death Knight coming in from the south side here. It looks as though Egg or Samdan 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 and Happy are getting pressured off to the north here. A lot of damage trying to be done, just trying to delay any sort of mining. Death Knight now coming across, being able to get a good Death Coil heal, but all of this is, well, losses are going to be expected in a fight like this. Both sides are just trying to apply losses to the other player more. This is a battle of seconds, and both sides want to be able to put pressure on the other, and while minimizing their own damage. Defend already for Tho, as we see a Death Coil trailing after a Footman there. I already imagine the Back to WarCraft guys getting so happy with that Death Coil hitting a low hit point Footman. Coming back around, Crypt Fiends, Death Knight now making his way back down to the south. We see tech to tier 2 on both sides here. Tech to tier 2 on both sides, and the timing on this attack is the important part. Infi and 120 knew that any peasants and any acolytes lost during this critical upgrade period would translate to lost mined gold. So that was a window of opportunity to try and engage, get a little bit more damage done, and have it perhaps snowball, delay a hero training, delay some tech, something of that nature. Tech already done for the southern side for Infi and 120. Meanwhile, Happy and Tho off to the north. Well, they're at Halls of the Dead and at Keep, but you can already see well, 120 teching to tier 3. That's going to be the important part there. All right, and coming back around, Archmage and Death Knight continuing to battle it up here. They're actually staying a little bit together. Death Knight gets up to level 3, picks up most likely going to be Death Coil level 2. I'd be just dumbfounded if it was Unholy or a level 1, as we see a Death Coil land on that Archmage, who now, well, really doesn't want to press his luck any longer. Archmage cleans up that water elemental there. You're going to see a little bit of a fight back on the southern side, and this could spell a little bit of problem for 120 and Infi. Do they have enough to defend here? Crypt Fiends, Death Knight, Archmage is down here. There's a Scroll of Regeneration. Mountain King is out here on the battlefield as well, so a little bit of a home field advantage for the southern side of Infi and 120, but at the same time, well, they were in the process of healing, so how is this all going to work out? Death Knight, is it going to get body blocked? Yes, it is going to get body blocked. No surround, though. I thought perhaps a surround could be in order. No, the Mountain King really just desperately going after Crypt Fiends instead, as the Death Knight able to catch up and also using that Wana mana stealing, able to deny a Stormbolt from the Mountain King while getting another Death Coil for himself. All right, pushing back the other way. Momentum shift in this battle. Well, slow-moving battle as both sides using Footman with Defend. Blood Mage now coming out on the battlefield. I'm sorry, don't know why I have the classic, or not the classic, the reforged icons. Difficult to, at least for me, to determine who is who and what is what in terms of their portraits and identifying these units. Siphon mana into Happy's Death Knight. Death Knight now with enough mana for another Death Coil. The Blood Mage wants to perhaps siphon some mana some more, and now giving mana to the Lich. If you thought Happy was amazing using Death Coil and Frost Nova with Obsidian statues, I wonder what it's going to look like with a Blood Mage and an Archmage with Brilliance Aura as well. That actually just seems like a very scary combination, as the Lich of 120, well, it loses some mana, but the Death Coil Stormbolt combination a bit too much from the southern side. Infi and 120 able to use a Stormbolt, Death Coil, Frost Nova. That is probably the scariest 1-2-3 combination in WarCraft 3, especially if all three of those heroes get to level 5. Level 3 Death Coil, level 3 Frost Nova, level 3 Stormbolt, all supported by Obsidian statues, and an Archmage with Brilliance Aura means, well, any unit that has less than 700 hit points is pretty much on the chopping block. All right, Lich coming back around here. Dark Ranger as the third and final hero coming across for 120. We can see the Gargantuan and Dragon Turtle creep camp getting cleared out. This is a red creep camp, and, well, red creep camps generally drop some very powerful items. Gargantuan Sea Turtle with that chaos damage, another, well, tidal wave or shock wave type damage ripping through the center back line there. The Dragon Turtle and the Gargantuan Sea Turtle going back and forth. And interestingly enough, both sides deeming it this is the right time to try and go after these Dragon Turtle creep camps. Dragon Turtle needs to lose its lunch depths. return of fortune for that crypt, or reversal of fortune for that crypt fiend there, as the gargantuan sea turtle gets taken down. All right, Rune of Healing. It should be picked up. There it goes. There's the... did it heal anything? Yeah, a lot of the units had already walked away, so a little bit of a misstep there. Meanwhile, the gargantuan turtle already down here, or excuse me, dragon turtle already down here. Just a couple of gargantuan turtles left, as the gargantuan... this army now being bolstered by a Crypt Lord. So Crypt Lord as the third and final hero coming in from Happy. And meanwhile, well, we saw that it was going to be 120 had the, I believe, the Dark Ranger. Yeah, Dark Ranger with Silence. That is going to be a big deal. Fountain of Health in the top left-hand side of the map. Going to go ahead and easily clear that out. That Dark Ranger is just absorbing all of that damage. Why isn't no one taking down that Water Elemental? They're finally taking down those two little Sea Elementals and now making their way back to the center. Meanwhile, Archmage already coming back over, bringing in Spellbreakers and Casters into this position. You can see Blizzard now raining down, just completely destroying any mining opportunities for Tho. Tho going to be in trouble here. Meanwhile, inbound, Tho is going to be joined alongside Happy. There is the undead army a little bit out of position. Needs to try to get into position there to actually start engaging. Organizing your units does take a little bit of time, but engaging your units in a single file line often just, well, gives them and serves them up on a platter to be taken down easily. All right, a little bit of miscommunication between the two teal armies as they need to try and engage together. There's a Blizzard right there, Siphon mana, Mountain King losing a little bit of mana. Meanwhile, the Blood Mage upside down on mana is going to throw down a Flame Strike throw down a Flame Strike for a little bit of zoning effect as well. Both sides, Spellbreakers in that frontline spot. Death Knight, Death Coil, Stormbolt onto the Archmage. Archmage gets Frost Nova down. There's that nasty 1-2-3 combination. Archmage falls at level 4, and Tho and Happy now without that important Brilliance Aura. All right, meanwhile, what is going on there? Resurrection, Death Knight continuing to fight back around. What is that Crypt Lord going to do? Trying to go after some of these units. I believe that Crypt Lord actually dove on in. That Crypt Lord having a Robe of Magi should be able to get in a couple more impales here pretty quickly, as the home field advantage is, not quite holding up for Tho. The battle is still raging on here. A couple of Obsidian statues, however, getting danced in the back, getting a little bit pressured. Mountain King could be in trouble. Down to 9 hit points. He gets taken down. Blizzard now raining down, trying to destroy all of these units here. You can see a bunch of low hit point Spellbreakers. They're getting picked off with ranged auto attacks. And still no clear-cut winner yet. Siphon mana. And it looks as though, it looks as though 120 and Infi are going to be trying to retreat back. There goes another Obsidian statue, and now a tactical retreat is in order. Dark Ranger finally heading off over there. All right. Dark Ranger perhaps could have just stayed closer to the Fountain of Health. Didn't really need to try and engage in that frontline spot. Meanwhile, an Illusion now going to make its way, try to keep tabs of where the army is. Archmage does get up to level 4. And we're looking at, trying to clear out the marketplace over here on the bottom left. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Army sizes. Let's take a look. We are at 47 supply by 120. Infi sitting at 41. Meanwhile, Happy is sitting at 58, so he's in low upkeep, while Tho is purposely staying out of upkeep, staying at 49. All right, Lightning Revenant going to easily get taken out here. Marketplace perhaps could purchase some useful items. I believe there's still a lot of creep camps on the southern side of the map to be cleared out. And this creep camp already lost its Forest Troll Warlord, though, or I believe it was the Forest Troll Warlord. Don't play on Synergy enough to know, but based on the creeps, it just feels like a Forest Troll Warlord was there. All right, 2v2 matchup. And back to the center, Archmage, Blood Mage, Death Knight, Crypt Lord, Lich, barreling down here. We do have one expansion by Infi and one expansion by Tho, as both sides are trying to hold on to that economic point and this little outpost that isn't very well defended. One arcane tower, that's pretty much it. Scroll of Impale coming across there. Blood Mage, it seemed that the Death Knight was actually caught in front of his units, was able to get in a good siphon mana and drain a little bit of the mana out. Are we perhaps going to be looking at some flame strikes here? There's some more Blizzard raining down. There's some more siphon mana. Stormbolt onto the Blood Mage, though. Blood Mage down to 245 hit points, has to retreat back, and then there was a silence cast on him as well. All right, is the Blood Mage going to perhaps try and transfer some mana back into some friendly targets here, as we're looking at some, well, Spellbreakers easily getting taken out as well. Both sides still fighting their way through. There's some siphon mana trying to drain away as the Archmage off to the north. Death Coil, Swirl of Town Portal now needed. Archmage was down to sub 50 hit points. Tactical retreat back by Happy and Tho. Infi able to hold on to that Expo and force a Scroll of Town Portal back. Army sizes 48 supply and 47 going up against 48 and 60. Now 120, the one going into low upkeep. All right. Expo in the corner here. Berserk Elemental, Mountain King in that front line spot, going to be able to, well, regenerate a decent amount of hit points with that Fountain of Health. And then perhaps just hang out in the corner of the map here, try and regenerate some hit points, let these priests get in a little bit of rest, and allow these Obsidian statues to benefit from the Brilliant Aura. But no, there's a little bit of separation as the army of Happy and Tho once more barreling down in on that Expo. No Watcher or Sentry Ward this time around for the early detection, as both sides are getting ready to engage. Death Knight now also adding in Endurance Aura on top of Unholy Aura for even faster movement speed as both sides are ready to battle it up. Archmage able to get in a Blizzard on the far side here. Flame Strike, Blizzard coming in from the north. That's a nasty 1-2 combination, as those Crypt Fiends, well, as they're moving away from that damage, are not actually attacking themselves. There goes one Abomination. Destroyer's now trying to, well, own the skies here. What is happening? Spellbreaker's diving in, collapsing in on Happy's position. Happy looks like he needs to retreat, as the Crypt Fiends, even though they do not deal bonus damage versus those Spellbreakers in mass numbers, and because of their range attack and the ability to focus fire, able to whittle away at these units. All right, Archmage once more causes a little bit of a Blizzard damage, trying to create a little bit of separation. The Spellbreakers are still diving on in here, trying to, well, force pressure onto the, well, Blood Mage and the heroes in that back position. The Crypt Fiend still continuing to push with 3-0 upgrades and just focusing down one unit at a time very cleanly. All right, Spellbreakers now needing to back up. Apparently, they've taken a little bit too much damage. There's going to be an auto attack finishing off another Spellbreaker, as the Happy now falls back once more. All right, Obsidian statues starting to run low on mana. Are they going to start turning into more destroyers? That is the question here. Trying to finish off one of those Obsidian statues down to 65. That is a primary target. It has a lot of mana and very low hit points, as Blizzard and Flame Strike stacked on top of each other, really clearing out some of those hit points onto, well, 120's units. All right, coming back again. Blizzard still raining down. There's a Flame Strike, gonna deal large amount of damage to those Crypt Fiends. One Crypt Fiend gets taken down. Another Crypt Fiend could follow shortly. No, and then be able to stay alive as the battle's still raging on here. It is a battle of attrition. Who can afford to lose more and still end up winning these battles here? All right. Both sides engaging. There is the Archmage putting in pressure on the Spellbreakers there. Spellbreakers able to clean up some of those peasants. A lot of those peasants just gone pretty much instantaneously. And Infi losing this Expo, meaning, well, Infi and 120 going to be set behind economically. All right, trying to try to come back in here, re-engage. Death Knight is silenced. Crippler trying to retreat back. And are we going to see any, well, burst of damage onto perhaps any trailing units? Crypt Fiend gets taken down. Spellbreaker still pushing across, well, as normal, as we see a Stormbolt go down onto the Crippler. He's going to take a Blizzard as well. The Spellbreaker's in the middle of the fight, just taking all of this magic damage, or standing in all of this magic damage, but not caring about it. Spellbreakers once more push in. Spellbreakers have 2-2 upgrades for Infi. Meanwhile, those are 1 and 2 upgraded, as a Blizzard still raining down here, trying to cause, well, some of these Crypt Fiends and Abominations to retreat back and not to deal damage. All right, narrow choke point, long fight. Crypt Fiends trying to go after and focus down some units. The Spellbreaker is actually going a bit far here. Archmage realizes how far he went and realizes he needs to Scroll of Town Portal back, and now suddenly, well, 120 is by himself. I thought Infi could have scrolled a Town Portal right here to be closer and then be able to re-engage. Perhaps that was a big misstep there, as the Archmage well, also needed to get the Arcane Vault to get a Scroll of Regeneration. Right, healing still underway. Archmage of Tho off to the north, being forced to retreat back. He was down to sub, I believe, 75 hit points, but was far enough away from the action where he could get healed back up by some Obsidian Statues and perhaps some Priests. All right, pretty much no more Priest. However, on the red side, it is down to Spellbreakers and Crypt Fiends, more Obsidian Statues. All right, additional new Priest bringing in the back as the Archmage of Infi ends up falling. That's going to be a big deal there as the units are trying to retreat back again. There goes another Death Knight. Death Knight falls, and well, exchanging blows. Southern side is, or excuse me, the northern side. Can't even remember. No, Teal. Southern side and now in some serious trouble. I believe it was the southern side. Yes. Trying to retreat back. 120 and Infi losing some heroes there. So yeah, the colors are mixed. The names here don't match the names on the players. Trying to constantly think what is what. All right, Tho bringing in, well, siphoning mana Archmage, going to be in, well, bring in some more Brilliance Aura. It is level 2 Flame Strike, not level 2 Siphon Mana, so the Lich is getting a lot of its mana drained, but a good Flame Strike could catch, well, no, doesn't really catch any of those units. They're able to all back away. I thought an Obsidian Statue or two could be felled, but that is not the case, right? Needing back that Archmage and that Death Knight. Meanwhile, Blizzard still raining down here, finding some of those Crypt Fiends as the Blood Mage gets some Siphon Mana on into the Mountain King. Death Knight falls at level 5. So the Death Knight of Happy falls at level 5 as the Archmage still raining down Blizzard across all of these units. Blizzard and Flame Strike stacked together could have been the death of more units there, but they're able to hold on ever so barely. All right, Impale onto the Mountain King. Mountain King does have a Potion of Healing. He's going to try to double back around with Potion of Healing. He is barely alive right now, needing to retreat. And, well, where's that Mountain King going to go? Mountain King down to 20, 18 hit points. No, unable to escape. Mountain King falls, but so does the Lich. All right, a long, drawn-out battle here. No side with a clear-cut winner. We can see a couple of low hit point Obsidian Statues. Happy's Obsidian Statue gets lost in transit as the Lich now gets up to level 5. These low hit point Obsidian Statues, perhaps they're going to try to train back up. Another Spellbreaker perhaps could get lost in transit right there, down to dead. The additional Orb of Corruption, removing some of that precious armor, causing that Crypt Fiend damage to deal just enough to finish it off. All right, Spellbreaker's looking to engage again, trying to push back the other way. Remember, Tho still has his Expo operational, so does Infi. Both sides are just in this, in this no man's land between each other, trying to gain a foot, just an additional foot of progress. All right, Tho is trying to stop some of the mining, able to, well, stop it with a bit of a Blizzard. Meanwhile, Flame Strike, level 4 now on Tho's Flo's Blood Mage, which does mean level 2 Siphon Mana. Level 2 Siphon Mana means you're going to drain your opponents faster while having more opportunities for more Flame Strikes. That could be a very big deal. Obsidian Statues getting cleaned up out here on the battlefield as they're continuing to, well, push back in. All right, Spellbreakers need to lead the charge here. All right, and this is a pretty big battle as the Death Knight, Crypt Lord, and Lich 5-5-4 alongside an Archmage and a Blood Mage 5-4, trying to find a proper opportunity to engage. All right, Crypt Lord very high on armor. That is a crazy high armor Crypt Lord. Nearly 20 armor, a lot of it coming in from Rings of Protection. And also getting that spiked carapace. All right, Blizzard now raining down, going to continue to cause problems across all of these. I just realized this is the Crypt Lord that went for spiked carapace, didn't go for beetles. And that's one of the reasons why it actually worked. There goes a quick impale onto the enemy heroes, trying to cause a little bit of separation. Death Knight now needing to retreat back here, but he needs to find a way to get healed back up. Obsidian Statue in the back. Priest needs to get in some bonus heals onto that Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 129 hit points after the Priest is bringing over a heal as well. More Siphon Mana. Archmage at level 5 falls for Infi. However, Frost Nova killing a Death Knight. I don't know why that feels so satisfactory to see the Death Knight dead at the hands of Frost Nova as the Dark Ranger also falls. All right, both sides exchanging blows again. When is this battle, this scrimmage, this war going to come to an end here? As well, We are looking at 120, well, needing to retreat back with that Death Knight. Death Knight has level 2 Unholy Aura. He could actually have Animate dead, and suddenly this, with Animate dead, bring up and have a pop-up army that is actually capable. Spellbreaker's going to come back the other way. Arcane Tower going to be draining in some precious mana. Units need to retreat back here. Obsidian statues are low on hit points and on mana. You do not want to be feeding 6 supply units to your opponent. Oh, Animate dead was in fact used. A couple of, well, Animate dead Spellbreakers going to try and engage. I thought, well, they're going to engage back once more. Crypt Fiends splatting, well, all of that Animate dead's units. All right, Archmage 4, though, falls at level 5. Yeah, Archmage of Though falls at level 5 as we're still looking to push back through. Or it's not, no, that's Infi. Yeah, Thoughs. Yeah, trying to keep track of all this. Blizzard raining down a bunch of peasants just trying to work. No more mining for Though at his expo. Pushing back the other way. Lich now gets up to level 6. All right, more Frost Nova. Death Knight going to try and finish off some more Abomination units. There's some Siphon mana. Can Though perhaps get enough Flame Strikes down to stall to this continuing onslaught of damage here as another Abomination falls you too. Each big beefy unit that falls is just continuing to give even more experience. Archmage does have level 2 Brilliance Aura, not level 3. I thought at this stage in the game, Infi's Brilliance Aura would be more important than the Blizzard, but the Blizzard is still doing large amounts of damage as the Obsidian statues, well, regenerating mana nicely, but also spending it nicely. They're never ever able to get it back up top. All right, what is the Blood Mage looking to do? Are we going to see a Flame Strike go down? There's a Stormbolt onto the Blood Mage. Blood Mage getting separated. Is he going to be in trouble? Yes, he is. Down to 440 hit points. Able to back away, get a little bit of separation there. There's a flank on the side. Blizzard raining down across as we're now fighting back at the north side here. There is a potential Expo attempt here as the main gold mines have pretty much mined out. We are only mining on one base on each side, and perhaps not even that sometimes, as Though has no workers at his center expo. Though, putting everything he has in here, a big impale, neutralizing much of the army for a quick moment, but, well, that's not going to last too long. Flame Strike now coming across as well. If you have Impale, Blizzard, Flame Strike, that was a nasty 1-2-3 combination and could have destroyed much of the oncoming army, but we still don't see that there. There goes the Impale right there. No Blizzard, no Flame Strike to follow up from that Cryptlord. Cryptlord down to 571 hit points, taking a lot of auto attack. Death Knight now needing to retreat back with the Potion of Invulnerability as we see a Death Coil healing up the Abomination there. All right, frontline Abomination. He wants to retreat back out. There's some more Blizzard. There's some more damage getting racked up. Well, more Siphon mana. Death Knight could be in trouble. He dove on in, and wow. Last minute losing control of the Death Knight. 120 losing a level 6 Death Knight as he walked into the Blizzard and just took far too much damage, with a little bit of focus damage being able to finish it off. Without that Death Knight keeping the undead army together and trying to heal up more units, is there enough? Mountain King still has plenty of mana, trying to perhaps finish off this Blood Mage. Blood Mage, Potion of Healing. Is it going to be enough? No, Blood Mage is going to fall as level 6 now reached on Infi's Archmage. All right, Mountain King still has plenty of mana, trying to push back the other way. There's a Stormbolt onto the Archmage. All right, Tho's Archmage could be in trouble. No, he's down. He's able to escape back at 179 hit points. Both sides still fighting their way through. Infi's Mountain King now in trouble. He's in that front line spot. Blizzard by Tho, perhaps getting a little bit of separation, but the Mountain King able to finish off the Death Knight, as that will be the game. A back and forth game between 120 and Infi versus Happy and Tho. And, well, here are the final scores. 120 and Happy taking the top 2 scores, Infi and Tho taking the bottom 2 scores, and even in a 2v2 matchup, well, with human and undead versus human and undead, undead outperforms human. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.